right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Pokemon. So we have a massive Metazoo update today. And that update is that Metazoo Games has, in fact, filed for bankruptcy. As of May 20th, they filed for bankruptcy, and that information is now publicly available. So I did some digging. I found out what I could. Right now, there's not a whole lot on there, but there is some juicy stuff on there that we're going to talk about. But I believe they have an additional extension of a couple of weeks to try to add more information to this filing. But they have filed now for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So a lot of people were asking me about the Golden Distribution auction, the lien that was on the Metazoo product that Golden was storing. They said if this, $50,000 odd wasn't paid back by May 20th, which was the same day they filed for bankruptcy, they were going to auction off all the Metazoo product that they were holding on to pay off that lien. That auction is not going to happen because of this bankruptcy filing. So it's official now. Mike did what he said he was going to do. He said his goal, if the creditors could not be paid back, was to get Metazoo into bankruptcy so that they could be paid back. So that looks like that's exactly what he did. So that auction is not going to happen. So I'm sorry for everybody that was holding out hope that they might be able to get some cheap pallets of Metazoo. But there still might be a liquidation. We'll talk about that in a second. But basically what's on this website, or what's publicly available right now, is not a lot because, like I mentioned, they have time to kind of fill this out a little bit more. But there is a list of creditors that's publicly available. But I believe this is incomplete, but it does give you a picture of some of them. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the initial filing. And I'll show you guys the actual documents as we talk about it. But I think basically what this means is Mike is gone. Steve is gone. This is in the hands of the court, and Metazoo is now in the process of bankruptcy, which means that unless a company comes in and buys Metazoo in this state of bankruptcy, which is possible, then they're going to start liquidating product through a court-appointed trustee to try to pay back the people that are owed money. So now any product that Metazoo did own up until this point, that's all going to be handled by the courts and by the trustee. So now none of that stuff can be sold at auction by someone like Golden. So that's, again, not going to happen. So this is a major development. This is what we've really been waiting to see officially happen. And now Metazoo Games is in bankruptcy. But that does not mean that Metazoo could not still be purchased or that Metazoo could not still live on in some way. And if anything, there is a chance that a company that was looking at buying Metazoo prior to bankruptcy would get an even better deal now that Metazoo is officially in bankruptcy. So it might even be more likely now that a company picks it up than prior. So let's talk about some of these filings here. So the first thing, this is kind of just the initial filing. Metazoo Games LLC files for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And then to find some of these documents, some of the stuff that's public, that number, that 24-108-74, that'll be the case number that you would need to search to find some of this stuff. So date filed, 5/2024, date of last filing, 5/21/2024. And I'm going to go ahead and redact some of the phone numbers and names and stuff, even though I believe a lot of it you can find publicly. I just don't want to blast it in a YouTube video, but I believe most of it you would be able to find publicly. So that's just this is just proof that they did file, the date that they filed, and then the type of bankruptcy that they filed, Chapter 7, the court that they filed in, which was New York, and then the case number in the very beginning there, that 24-108-74. So that'll be what you need. And it shows the judge, too. That'll be publicly available. But I think, really, like I said, this was kind of bare bones. The more interesting part about this was the list of creditors. And again, I believe this is incomplete still. But this does give us an idea of some of the people that they actually owed money to. And again, I'm going to redact because there's addresses and phone numbers and stuff on here. I'm just going to take those out. But Bayaya Board Game Company, so that is their printer. And I honestly don't know. I think it's entirely possible that this could be the case, but I don't know if these are listed in order of who is the biggest to least, like who they owe the most money to down to the least. But it looks like that could be the case based on the printer being the top of the list. But so Cardi.io, that's the company that developed their online client. Chase Bank, Marvel Entertainment is on here. That's a pretty interesting one. Sanrio, Shopify, SSL freight forwarders, and What's New, which I believe is like a game. It's like a e-gamer. Like I think they do like jerseys and stuff. I think that's what that company is. So that's the list of creditors that we have so far. And then this is a list. This is what will be public when all of this is updated. So I believe with that court number, with the case number rather, you'll be able to find all these documents as they are uploaded. So this is the stuff that they've already submitted and the stuff that they haven't. So you can see they have this deadline of 6/3/2024. So on that deadline, a lot of this stuff will be public, and I believe all of it will be public. But the 5/21/24 where it says terminated, that's stuff that they've already submitted in that final column there. So you can see there's still some stuff missing. All these schedule documents, a summary of schedules, statement of final affairs, incomplete filings. So some of this stuff would, like, also I believe the creditor part is also incomplete. So I think you're going to see over the next couple of weeks a lot of this stuff get filled out more, and we'll talk about that as it goes. But these should all be publicly available documents that you'll be able to click where it says document number, and you should be able to pull up all of this stuff. So one of the reasons why I say that there's going to be more creditors added. So for example, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, where's the list of people that had pre-orders, etc. There was this annotation at the bottom of one of the pages. It said, there are numerous other creditors. However, books and records of the debtor are not in the debtor's possession, but rather in the hands of a former officer. Demand is being made for their return, so that schedule and statement of affairs may be completed promptly. So we don't know who that former officer is, but that was on there. And then also on another one of the documents with their estimated number of creditors, they checked the box 200 to 1,000 essentially. So obviously there were not 200 to 1,000 creditors listed. Estimated assets 100,000 to 500,000. So I don't know if that number is representative of the estimated value of physical product that Metazoo has left, because that seems really low. And then estimated liabilities 0 to 50,000. But the main thing, if you guys are following this, you guys will be able to see this this chart here, and this has all the dates and deadlines, and then you'll be able to click. I think all of these documents will be publicly available, like I said. So if you want to follow along, the latest deadline is July 8th, 2024 for the Section 521 incomplete filing. But you should all be able to find this this table here, and you can follow as these things are uploaded and satisfied, and then it should let you click whatever you're able to click. But yeah, that's the update so far, and I'll keep you guys posted, so make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, love you guys, appreciate you guys. Nick, Strength, and Power. Pokemon. Metazoo. Nick, Strength, and whatever. Signing out.